Hi, and welcome to the MobiChef Mukbang. I'm your host, Chester Smith, and some of you out there might be wondering what the heck is a mukbang or mukbang if you pronounce it a different way. Well, it simply means a fancy word to me, my interpretation, a fancy word for eating a lot of food, crunching on it, slurping on some drinks, having a good time with fun, friends and community. All right, but let's get started. Let's kick this thing off. Again, welcome to the very first episode of this. We hope you enjoy. All right, so the lady sitting next to me is an extraordinary leader, right? She has over 15 years of experience in the real estate industry. And I just like to introduce Miss Mykah Richards, right? Let me give you a little background on her, right? She's the founder of Lux Realty, a company sourced and rooted in one core mission, exceptional customer service. I love that. She has successfully guided clients through market highs and lows, offering strategic insight and leadership to teams, partners, and families alike. Today, we're diving into the real truths of real estate, entrepreneurship, got to get that word right, entrepreneurship, legacy, culture, and generational wealth. And without further ado, let's bring Mykah Richards to the table. Mykah, how's it going?
Great. You did such a great job introducing me. Show's over, guys.
Oh man, I appreciate that. Being at the first episode, you have those nerves and different things that kick in. But
Yeah.
let's get right into this. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Give us a little brief history here.
My name is Mykah Richards. Like you said, I am the owner and founder of Lux Realty. I've been in the real estate business for over 15 years. I work in an array of different
Yeah.
industries within real estate,
Okay.
buying and selling, of course.
Okay.
My main focus right now is development,
Okay.
new construction. I acquire large parcels, subdivide them, and build custom communities.
That's awesome, awesome, awesome. So, how did you get started in the real estate business?
Believe it or not, HGTV. I used to watch a lot of HGTV
Okay.
where they look at three houses, they pick one, and it always closes. So I said I could do this easily.
It looked
But
good from the
it
outside,
looked
right?
good from the outside, but baby, I can tell you, real estate is nothing like HGTV.
Understand
Yeah.
that. Okay.
So that's how I started.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where you from? Where you?
Originally, I'm from St. Thomas, the U.S. Virgin Islands. So I'm a little island girl.
Island
Yeah, I'm
girl.
an island
Okay.
girl. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I hopefully this dish can be a compliment to your island roots.
Yes.
So you see what we got here. Chef Buddy Love prepared, a delicious dish
It
for us.
looks delicious.
We're gonna get a close up of this and all that good stuff, but I'm ready to dive in,
Okay.
right? But I do have an icebreaker for you
Okay.
first, right? What is your favorite comfort food?
Oh, I'd have to say mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese. Okay. What about it though?
I love it because it's just warm and it's gooey. It has a perfect hint of salt and
Yeah.
it's just amazing.
I eat mac and cheese, but when I used to, I used to put barbecue sauce on mine. I don't.
Interesting.
It's just like it was some Kraft sweet barbecue or honey barbecue something, and I don't know why, but I just did it.
Okay.
It is what it is. But let's get more into this dish.
Okay.
Chef Buddy Love, what did you make for us today?
Hey now, this is Chef Buddy Love with MobiChef, and what I got going on today is a real simple, delicious appetizer. It is a crab and shrimp egg roll with cream cheese. Simple ingredients, but will wow your taste buds. And allow me to show you how I deep fry one. You're gonna need your shrimp, you're gonna need some crab meat, some cream cheese, some green scallions, some egg roll wrappers. You're gonna need some grease, you're gonna need some hot fire, and you're gonna need a pot. You're gonna need a spider, a colander, or some tools like that to get out the hot grease. Come show you how to do it. Get some egg rolls going on. Yeah. Here we go. In the grease. Probably about 3 to 5 minutes. You want to turn them when they first get in because you don't want them to stick at the bottom of the pot. What you want to do is adjust your temp. I need to lower this down a little bit. So while that's frying, I'm going to show you ones I just took out the fryer. This is what they look like right here. Nice. We're going to go ahead and slice it. We're going to garnish it real quick, and we're going to plate. Simple. Now this right here is what your taste buds and your mouth has been waiting for. Simple, delicious shrimp, crab, egg roll.
Buddy Love, we appreciate that, man. You made something great here. I've been looking at it. The smell's good. But I got to see how it tastes, to be honest with you. Mykah, you ready? Let's
I'm
dive in.
ready. I'm
Let's
ready.
get this. Let's get this
All
initial
right.
bite. See what it tastes like. Looks good. Oh my God. Oh, immediately. What did you taste? Let me ask you. What did you taste on that? Yeah.
It's so delicious.
Oh my goodness.
I taste the cheese and the seafood. It's like a perfect mix.
Yeah.
It's a hint of spice.
Yeah. I got that. My initial bite, the cheesiness definitely hit.
Like that mac
I
and
tasted the
cheese.
crab. Yeah, like the mac and cheese. I tasted the crab out the gate though. Like a strong
Seafood.
flavor of the crab, the sweetness of the cheese. It's something else. I can't describe what the heck it is. I don't know
Another
it.
flavor.
It's just another flavor. Buddy Love, you got to tell us about that one. You did your thing with this, man.
Yes, it did.
These are seafood egg rolls, guys. It has shrimp, crab, and cream cheese in it. Buddy Love, man. Hats off to you, bro. Hats off to you, man. All right. Well, after eating that, though, I think I am a little parched. We got these wonderful drinks sitting in front of us. So, Morgan, I know you're out there. Tell us what you got for us. What did you make here today?
What's going on? Yes, I'm here, Morgan Brock, your bartender for today, and I will be serving up these delicious passion fruit martinis. So, what goes into making a great drink for me is, of course, I need to prep my mixer cups, my shakers with the ice. We're going to start with our liquor, which is just the passion fruit vodka. Very simple. Not too much, not too little, but it also depends on your alcohol tolerance level, so do you, boo. Then we have the juice that goes into it. It's pineapple juice. You can also use a passion fruit juice. This is made best with pineapple or passion fruit. A little simple syrup. We add our fresh lime juice. And you guys don't see me measuring anything, but that's because I have a count for everything. So I'm literally counting the amount that I'm putting in my head. And that's what goes in for the first round, for the first layer of this drink. All right, so with our vodka, pineapple juice, a little simple syrup, some lime juice, it's gonna set our drink off right. Starting it off with the base, and then as our topper, a little Prosecco for more bubbles than a little bit. And that completes my passion fruit martini. Top it off with your garnish and serve it up. Okay, so we have here the port wine that was promised, and also my guest drink that I first made was the passion fruit martini. I'm coming in with the hostess drink. Of course, he's different. He want to be different, so he likes whiskey. So today is just my better version of a whiskey sour is how I make it. And so we're going to build him a whiskey. We're using the finest Scotch whiskey, of course. A whiskey count in there, of course. The best whiskey sours made with sour mix, obviously. Let's get a little of that. Always got to add a little simple, so it's not too sour for him. And instead of shaking this one, we'll stir it up. Make it real fancy. Don't forget to put your pinky up. So this one for the whiskey drink with the seafood egg rolls that we'll be having today. Now, normally you don't pair the dark with the seafood, but making an exception because, like I said, this is for the host. And for our guests, we have paired her seafood meal with the lovely light liquor. That's the best recommendation. Whenever you're going to have like seafood, fish, anything of that sort, you would want to pair it with a white wine or either a lighter liquor. So that's why we're having what we're having today. And as soon as this drink has had a great time to marinate, I go ahead and I pour it in the nice gentleman's glass over ice. And that's going to be perfect for the host this evening. And thank you again for tapping in. I am your bartender, Morgan Brock, with the wonderful MobiChef. So if you want to book us, book me, Morgan Brock, as your mixologist through the MobiChef bartending.
Morgan, hey, thanks for that introduction to this delicious looking drink. Why don't we just go ahead and dive right on into that as well?
Let's get
Let's
it.
take a sip and see what it
Cheers.
tastes like. Cheers. Oh, that bites, but it's good.
Mm.
Ah,
Take another sip of that.
Morgan put something brown in here. I told her I wanted a little whiskey,
Mm.
and she threw a little sour in there as well. But it definitely hit me back here. I
In
can
the back
feel
of
it.
your throat.
Yeah. What about you? What was yours?
Oh.
How'd you like that?
It's delicious.
Yeah?
Delicious. I taste
Oh, man.
passion fruit.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So what about name? I want you to name your drink because this is your first episode with us.
I'll have
Name
to
the drink. What would
say,
you call it?
a passion paradise.
Passion Paradise. There you have it, folks. Passion Paradise. That's Mykah's drink, and we gonna leave it at that. All right. All right. So we're moving along. How does it taste with the food though? Like after you're tasting that sweetness and the savoriness of the egg roll, how does that pair with the drink?
I think it's a perfect combination
Yeah.
for the seafood with a nice, light, refreshing, fruity drink.
Okay.
I mean, it's a perfect match.
That's cool.
Perfect
Okay.
match.
All right. Well, I got some questions to ask you, right? Because
Absolutely.
I didn't just bring you here to eat or anything like that, but
I mean, I
I
love to
definitely
eat.
just, speaking of food, gotta eat. Oh my God. That's just so good, man. Let's talk about real estate and entrepreneurship,
Okay.
right? So you saw it on HGTV.
Mhm.
Did that make you want to be an entrepreneur or just a real estate agent or a realtor?
Honestly, just a real estate agent.
Okay.
Didn't
Okay.
consider entrepreneurship at all.
Yeah.
Never really wanted to.
Mhm.
Thought I would just be great at being a real estate agent.
Okay. So at what point did the pivot or the change or the addition happen?
I think once I got into it, I realized that real estate is just much more than a job. And
Okay.
to be successful in it, you really have to just give it your all, throw everything into it. And from there, it became a passion.
Okay.
And you want to live your life
Yeah.
living out your passion or your dreams. And it quickly took on a role of its own.
Okay. So what I'm listening here after hearing some of your story and thinking your beginnings, none of it sound like you struggled. Did you ever have a struggle moment like before that moved you into entrepreneurship or becoming a real estate agent? Or was it just, hey, you know what, I saw something, I was watching TV because I was blessed to have a TV in my living room.
Mhm.
And I said, you know what, I want to be a realtor or a real estate agent. I think I can do that.
No, I definitely think just life in itself
Okay.
creates struggles and difficulties, right?
Understand.
Just background biochemist for the feds.
Biochemist.
Yeah.
Oh man, you
And
tell me
so,
about that one.
yeah, so I worked for the feds for a long time now.
Yeah. Long time.
But I'll have to say that the very first time that I was furloughed,
Okay.
um,
Was that in like the 2008-ish era or 2012, 13, somewhere
yeah,
around there?
somewhere in
Okay,
there.
I remember that.
Yeah,
That was
and
devastating.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
when I
yeah,
tell you sitting at home and you just don't know where,
yeah.
when, or
Okay.
if another check is going to come.
Right.
And from that point on, I realized that I needed to be more in control of my own destiny, my own finances, and entrepreneurship is really the way to go in order to be in full control of that.
Okay. Yeah, I know, being a fellow entrepreneur, I know that, I've had my highs and lows. And there were moments where I've always been an entrepreneur. I used to sell candy when I was in the 6th grade. My granddaddy used to come up here to South Georgia. And when we went there for the holidays, my great uncle would give us boxes of candy because he worked at this place called Bob's Candy. So we would get all the peppermints, all the trial stuff that they had, the candies that were unreleased. We'd get all that stuff and I'd take it back to Miami. And from my grandfather's house, I'd get this messenger bag, put it on, and I'd take it to school. And I was selling candy for like 5 cents, peppermints, 10 cents, just for cookie and milk money.
So you got it in your blood.
Yeah.
Okay.
It came, so, I have different roots,
Okay.
definitely there. But let's talk about your challenges. I know what challenged me to become an entrepreneur and where it started at for me. And of course, with the highs and the lows, but the lows are where I probably found the most value at. So tell me about your challenges.
Just being an entrepreneur, it's just a difficult journey. Especially when you're starting up a small business. capital is a big issue, and without the capital that you really need to
Yeah.
be efficient in running your business,
I get that.
you wear all hats. I am the accountant. I'm HR. I acquire business for the
Right.
business. I
Making the phone
orchestrate the
calls,
business for the business.
catch all the heat, all that.
Yeah, so you do everything, and that is very overwhelming. And sometimes you
Yeah.
can find yourself in a very low place when you're just trying to run all aspects of your business. A lot of times you don't have assistance. You might have a friend or family here and there that can help you out, but for the most part, it's just you. And that is a big, big struggle of entrepreneurship until you kind of get the wind beneath your sail, or
Understood.
it,
Behind yourself,
yeah,
maybe, because if you get it
right.
beneath, it still might not go.
I think I might have meant the wings,
Wind
but
beneath your wings. I
look,
get that. Hey,
you get what I'm saying,
we don't
though,
make the
right?
best analogies here, but you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm
Yes,
talking about.
yes, yes, yes.
Understood.
And so until you get that momentum, it is a struggle.
Okay,
Yeah.
I get that. Just in my personal journey, I've had those moments. One of my darkest moments came back in like 20, maybe 17. Sitting on the edge of the bed like this. I had a Glock 19, I believe, in my hand. And I'll never forget sitting on the bed, looking out the back window, and just kind of going over thoughts like, this can't be the end of life for me.
Right.
I can't be done. But I felt like a failure in those moments. And, the viewers and listeners out there, you guys are going to get more of this story one day, but I'm just giving this back piece right now, this quick, kind of brief history on it, just to kind of relate to, challenges. Yeah. And it was in those moments where I tell people I didn't pull the trigger, but I pulled the trigger because I needed new life. I needed something else that was going to energize me or get me where I needed to go. I'm not a quitter. Right. That was the biggest thing. In all my years of playing sports at the, pee-wee level all the way up to collegiate ball, I never quit in that sense. I never gave up or allowed myself to. So those were the things that said, don't pull the trigger, Chester. You have more to live for. Not to mention I had family and I had a son at the time that, I really cared about. So, for me, that's where I just said, you know what, you need help. And I sought help. And, from there, again, a low point, I had my greatest idea. And it became MobiChef. Okay. And that's why we're here today. Yes. And that's what got us. And MobiChef is on the up and up. So getting into that and my story, what I just mentioned to you, let's talk about legacy and wealth. So what drives you to want to create a legacy and build wealth?
Well, my kids, number one, are the driving force. I want to be able to, be a very good role model, something that they would be happy to mimic or to follow in my footsteps. And then also, too, I just want to create generational wealth for them, for their kids, and just to be able to.
I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta
no,
eat.
Please
so
eat.
good.
I'm eyeing this piece. I just want to bite it.
Hey, feel free to dive on in.
But yeah, that's my driving force. I just want to be able to leave a good legacy for my babies.
So I got a big question.
Yes.
How many kids you got?
I've got 2 boys, aged 10 and 14.
Okay, 10 and 14. Yeah. Are they in any sports? What are they doing with their lives?
Oh, yeah.
And what are you teaching them?
Well, first of all, sports. My oldest plays football and baseball. My youngest runs track, and he also plays football.
Okay, track meets.
Yeah.
Those are interesting.
Don't get me started. Track meets is a job in itself. It's an all-day event. I'm talking coolers, tents, fans, the whole 9 yards. So it's an all-day event.
Okay, good deal, good deal. So what are some current trends that you're seeing in real estate that could allow people or give people an opportunity to build wealth and create a legacy like what you're doing for your kids?
I always encourage my clients, friends and family that ownership is the way to go. Owning a home can create a pathway to increasing generational wealth. Right now, the real estate industry is a very tough industry. We've had last year was a really, really, really rough year for all real estate professionals, as well as this year. Our interest rates are a little on the higher end, or I should say higher than what they used to be relatively, but still lower than what they originally were. So
man, look, I got that 2.5%. I got that COVID rate.
I do too.
Hey,
I do too.
Listen,
I do too.
And you better not budge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was probably not necessarily a once in a lifetime, but for our lifetime, probably so.
Absolutely.
You might not see those rates again unless they just one day say, hey, we giving away houses and giving away money.
And a lot of people are waiting for that to happen again, and I just
Like a
encourage them to.
bubble,
Yeah, but
a bubble
I
burst.
I don't know that that'll ever come back, but I always say just acquire the asset now. If rates ever drop, then you're able to just for the
Refinance.
lower rate.
Okay.
But don't wait
Yeah.
to start building your generational wealth.
So with refinancing, is
Mhm.
there a certain strategy to that, or should people just wait?
Well, I don't think there's a particular strategy. You just got to watch the market and see when the rates kind of go down to an acceptable rate for you, and then go ahead and refi.
I understand that.
Mhm.
Okay, good. I'm not quite sure when I'm doing it, but I want to be advantageous when I do.
Yeah.
I want to make it happen. So, you have little boys or sons, right? Tell me about one mentorship in real estate. How are you personally mentoring them or surrounding them with those types of people? And what that means for you, again, in real estate.
Well, definitely, I incorporate my sons in every aspect of my business. They are employees, shall I say. They continue to show themselves to be of good character, and they also follow instructions very well. I usually put them to work. They're putting my for sale signs down, they're taking them up.
Oh, you
Um,
got these little,
oh,
are
yeah.
they slave workers?
Oh yeah, I
No,
make them
no, no.
work.
Y'all watch them now.
I make them work.
Feds gonna be on you.
I have my oldest son. He does a lot of my videography, my photography.
That's
He does a
cool.
lot of editing for me. My youngest son will answer phone calls, send emails. So I put them to work just so that they have a good work ethic, and then
Gotcha.
also understand that things don't just show up. We've got to
Understood.
work hard in life in order to have the things that we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool beans. Cool beans. So about community, let's talk about community actually. How do you feel uh, mentorship and your boys? Of course, you're mentoring them and showing them the business and the ropes of real estate.
Mhm.
How does that work in the community? How do you help them within the community? How does your real estate business um, benefit the community in this?
Absolutely. Lux Realty is always a home for the youth to gain experience
Okay.
in real estate. I find that to be very important because me personally, I didn't even know about real estate or have a understanding that it's a career field until probably like my late 20s or so. And so I pride myself on early exposure to my kids as well as the
Okay.
community. I started a nonprofit pretty early on. I think back in 2008 is when I started my first
Oh, you have
nonprofit.
okay.
Yeah,
How
I
many
owned a
do you have?
nonprofit.
Okay, you say your first one.
No, that is my first and only my first business, I should say,
Okay, understood.
was a nonprofit that I
Alright.
started in 2008.
Okay.
It was a mentorship organization, Lift, Ladies in Forward Transition. We mentor teenage girls.
Lift.
Yep,
Okay.
Lift.
Yeah, that's dope.
So it stands for
Before
Ladies
Lift?
in
Was it
Forward.
before Lift or after Lift?
No.
Trademark.
Yeah, so we mentor teenage girls
Okay.
through age 18 in various different arenas. And so that's where I kind of started my love for the community, for mentorship, and just giving back as a whole.
So what moved you to want to help little girls?
Um, A, I'm a woman myself.
Of course,
And then,
that part. That's the obvious, right? That's the obvious.
and then B, I just think that sometimes my parents are wonderful, but parents sometimes can be a little intimidating and scary.
Understood.
And having a mentor or mentorship program opens up another platform for younger children, women, and guys to share or open up and be truthful about certain things that they're dealing with, because we're not always comfortable going to our parents. And so mentorship creates an avenue for us to streamline and give good advice, because other than a mentor, you're probably going to rely on your friends for information, and they may not be the best. They may not be the best source.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you never can turn away a messenger
Yeah,
because they're going to teach you one or two things: what to do or how not to do it.
you're right about that.
So everybody, I feel like for me, everybody, teaches us a lesson, whether it's a season or a long time, whatever it is, they're there a lesson or a blessing, right? And you're going to learn one way or the other how not to do something or exactly how to do it. So that's cool beans. Let's talk about a little bit about this culture about us and how, your real estate agency represents that, being a minority owned Black woman, or if you want to say Black owned, because we just saw another, I'll call him a speaker named Wallow, speak about buying from Black business. And Wallow mentioned, some explicative words and, about buying Black, right? So with what you do in real estate, being a Black woman, having a Black-owned business and a minority-owned business, how do you, continue to implore the culture and apply the culture to your business practices, but also while expanding your reach to other clientele outside of just us?
Well, I work with all clientele. I
All
don't,
right.
discriminate regardless of any factor.
Mhm.
But I do try my best to speak to my community when I have the opportunity to, because, like I said, a lot
Yeah.
of us are just not exposed to real estate, the benefits of owning real estate and
Yeah.
building generational wealth. And so I try to come from that aspect of don't think that it's something that is unattainable for you or something that you just, oh, I can't do it.
Right.
My motto is if you can pay rent, you can pay a mortgage.
You can pay rent, you can pay
You can
mortgage.
pay
There
rent.
you have it, guys. If you can pay rent, you can pay mortgage.
Yes. Yes.
Message. So, all right. So let's talk about these deals.
Mhm.
Now, how are you usually closing deals?
How am I
Yeah,
closing
like
deals?
what's the atmosphere? What's the vibe? I see it on TV or Instagram. It's TV now,
Yeah.
and social media is TV. So I see it on TV a lot where people have the closing day signs. They have all
Yeah.
that, all the stuff like that. How do you close on a sale? What
Um,
does your closing day look like?
I mean, my closing day is I am Miss M Lux. Like,
Yeah,
all of my closings are fabulous. They're luxurious,
yeah,
but before we even get there, the work that is required to get us to the table is why you see the big celebration
right.
and the popping of the bottles and the
All
red
that stuff.
carpet.
Yeah,
It is a celebratory moment because it does not come easy.
yeah.
It is a difficult path in order to get the client to closing.
I get that.
Yeah.
So let's talk about food and real estate for a moment.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's what we're here
That's
for,
what we're
right? You
here
know what
for.
I'm
This
saying?
is
We
delicious
get some of this
food.
sauce buddy love put on here. They fail. I don't even get it. I got a little taste of it. I like a little sweet and sour.
It is so delicious.
That
I
shrimp
can't
right
wait
there.
till the cameras are off.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
gonna go in on this
Oh
plate.
no. We're here to go in
Oh my
now.
gosh.
People want to see you, all
Just-
your glory, lustriousness, and all the other stuff that comes with it. This is the Mukbang podcast.
Okay.
That's what we're here for. We're here to slurp on some drinks.
Okay. Now that I can do.
And we're here to crunch on some food and smack on some food. Because the food is smack worthy. I mean, we have to give it its flowers.
Yes.
And give the flowers to the chefs,
You
right?
did a wonderful job.
Oh my God. And these drinks are on point, man.
Yes.
Just bartender chefs with MobiChef, and we'll get back onto that. But from a MobiChef perspective, we have chefs, caterers, pastry chefs, freaking servers. We have even a cleaning crew. So like,
Yeah.
just imagine if you had an event, but you don't want to clean it up, or you had an event at your home and you don't want to clean it up, you can actually just say, hey, MobiChef, do y'all have a cleaning service for me, or a cleaner
Yeah.
that can come here and do that? We have all of that. We're not going to say A to Z just yet because that's an Amazon term, but we are rooted to the tutor, beginning to end, alpha, omega. We try to cover as much as we can with that to make it as seamless and convenient for you, the client, as possible.
And trust me, we appreciate that
Yeah.
because I think about utilizing your services for closings,
Yeah.
for gifts for my clients, as well as open houses.
Yeah.
And the work that goes into orchestrating all of that, just employing MobiChef just takes a good 60% of that stress off of my shoulders.
Right.
So
And so that's a good thing there. So we talked about the closing and how you do it. It's luxurious.
yes.
Right. And I've seen that again. People have some, less than the luxurious closings. And they take the pictures. But no matter what, you're getting the house. That's a big deal.
That's the only thing that
Huge
matters.
deal. You made it. You accomplished something that not many people are able to accomplish. Right.
Mhm.
But I know that your goal is to help as many people as you can get there. And so hopefully with today's episode, we can help you do that more.
Yes.
Right. All right. So tell me about a specific closing where you've actually leveraged food to help close, or a chef or a booking service like this to close a client.
I was working with a client that actually was like a corporate reload. And so, it's not just a regular move. They're moving they moved from the West Coast over in LA, and they just didn't have a lot of things in their home. And so I was able to employ the efforts of a fabulous chef to cook a beautiful meal in their home for them.
Mhm.
When you move, I don't know how much you cook, but,
A little bit.
I
I cook a
cook.
little bit.
And so in order to prepare a dish, like I have to have all my seasonings, have
Gotcha.
all my prep. And when you move into a new home, you don't have any of those
I
things.
understand that.
And so it was a great experience for them
Mhm.
because after purchasing a home, moving, relocating from the West Coast, you're exhausted.
Right.
Going out is probably not the first thing on your mind. So it's nice to bring in a chef that has all of the seasonings, the fixings, everything that you need.
Everything that you need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it
I
makes
like
it
that.
for
Almost like a $5 box from Popeyes or something, right?
yeah,
I get it.
all in one.
And yeah, and that's what I think about MobiChef. Our motto, and or at least my motto, when I came up with the concept, was from one comes many.
Yes.
Meaning, like, under the umbrella of MobiChef, there's these different services that you can get, and all of it's exceptional. Again, we just want to make this seamless experience for all of our clients, and we're hoping to do that as we continue to grow and expand. That's what brings us to the MobiChef Mukbang and why we're here today again.
Yes.
Right. But I did want to ask you this. Tell me, how would you describe your work ethic and how you do business as a dish?
Ooh, that's a hard question. I
Really?
would have to say, yeah, maybe like oxtail.
Okay.
Because you got to go to the farmer's market, find the meat, you got to come home, clean it,
Okay.
season it. And when you season, you got to massage that thing.
Right, right.
Let it marinate overnight. Then next day when you start cooking, sear it a little, pressure cook it. So
Yeah.
you think about that. So when I think about real estate, these are multiple steps. And
Okay.
the pressure cooker is definitely like when you're from contract to close, it's you under
Yeah.
pressure. It's a
I
lot of
understand that.
deadlines and, but at the end, it's a beautiful, everybody loves oxtail, right?
That's the process.
Beautiful dish.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oxtails are good. Some people skimp on oxtails. I know it's been a big thing now. It used to be affordable. Now people charging $30 and $40 for oxtail.
Oh yeah, they're pricey.
Yeah. I
Just
remember
like real estate.
Cat Williams said, tell me when the last time you seen an ox. where they get oxtail from? I
We
couldn't
don't
do nothing but
inquire.
laugh,
We don't
man.
inquire. We just
Right,
eat.
right. All right. So, big question for you.
Okay.
Does sugar go on grits?
Absolutely not.
Okay, I was finna kick you off my show. You said yes.
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
And it's so funny that I did not have grits for the first time until I moved to the South.
yeah.
And so the first time I tasted, I was like, why is this salty cream of wheat?
Wait, you from the South? You from
I'm
Virgin
from-
Islands?
We don't eat grits.
But
Is
you-
not,
you
but I
came
eat cream
north.
of wheat and oats and stuff like that.
Okay.
But the first time I had it wasn't living here in Georgia, and I
Yeah.
thought it was cream of wheat. And so when I tasted it, it was salty. I'm like, what is this? But no, absolutely not. No to
Right.
sweet grits.
I like my grits, man. They got to be savory, man.
Yes,
I have
butter,
arguments with people.
cheese.
Right. People
Yeah.
put, like, I get the eating fish and spaghetti. I never, that was another big one. Like, I didn't think about that. And then people put sugar in spaghetti, and
Mhm.
it's just, like, hell nah, man. I just, no. There's no damn way that I'm about to put sugar in grits. I eat cream of wheat. Like you said, I eat oatmeal.
Yeah.
But sugar and grits just kind of throws me off. Then they have the nerve to put pepper in it. Like, why do you want to
Sweet,
put,
spicy grits.
oh my,
Oh,
sweet,
no.
I guess it is sweet, spicy grits.
Okay.
A lot of Northerners do that. I don't know what it is. I mean, hey, they were free before I was, before my ancestors were. So,
Yeah.
that may be it. They may have gotten hip to some things that I didn't get hip to,
Right.
being raised in South Florida and South Georgia, right? All right, so, I want to get your wisdom and kind of your reflection on your career. What got you to this point in this moment? What can you tell our audience and the listeners out there about your experience and give them some wise words? What can you leave them with?
I will have to say the most important thing, the most important advice I can give, and just thanks to the Most High. Like, God has been by my side. Get you some knee pads, because baby, I stay here on these knees praying, because life is a journey, right?
Understood.
And so I think the best thing that I can impart on any of our listeners is, as long as you wake up every day and you put one foot in front of the other, you're always in motion. You're moving. You're climbing the ladder. You're going towards your career goal. So just don't become stagnant. Just always, even if it's just one thing off of your to-do list, you did one more thing that you didn't do from the day before. And so as long as you always put one foot in front of the other, you're always in motion.
Okay, I get that. So I definitely, emotion is always good, right? Things keep going as long as you never stop. I appreciate that. So let's talk about where to find you at,
Okay.
right? Give these people and the listeners out there your social media so that they can find you and you can be their next realtor or developer or whatever it is they're looking for.
Absolutely. You guys can find me at Luxury Homes by Mykah, and that's Mykah. And then also at MLux Homes on Instagram.
Outstanding. All right. So last thing, right? I got a couple of questions for you, and you just answer them fast, okay?
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are
Let's
you
go.
ready?
I'm ready. Let's
All
go.
right, but you got to take a bite of food first.
Okay.
Yep, and you got to do it with food in your mouth.
Okay, I got to do it with food in my mouth. Okay, I'm down for the challenge.
All right. Are you ready?
Go.
Is that bite good?
Oh, good bite.
All right. All right. Dish you can eat forever.
Crab.
Favorite ice cream.
Cookies and cream.
Coffee or tea.
Coffee.
9 to 5 or entrepreneurship.
Entrepreneurship all day.
I'll drink to that.
Cheers.
Mykah, it was a pleasure having you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
It was great.
Hopefully we can have you as a follow-up at some point.
Absolutely.
But for right now, your time here on the MobiChef Mukbang is over. We
Aw.
appreciate you, and we hope you enjoyed the food.
Thank you for
All right.
having me.
No problem.
All right.
Hungry for a meal like this and an experience like this? Book one of our chefs today at MobiChefOfficial.com. MobiChef brings the flavor, and all you have to do is get started. So visit our website today, and thanks for watching and listening.